I'd like to tell you a story about me. This is a picture of me when I was in first grade. I was very inquisitive. I asked a lot of questions. I was very stubborn. I like to tinker around with things and try to figure it out myself. No matter if someone told me it wasn't going to work, I had to figure it out by myself. I was always a new student. I moved and I went to 4 different elementary schools, so it was always new. I was creative. I did enjoy drawing and building things and creating things out of cardboard, paper. I used to love paper dolls, but I did struggle in academics. And I believe I struggled because I really didn't have a teacher that I connected with since I moved so much. And learning wasn't targeted to personalize my needs. So most of the time, I had big fat X's on my paper. It was upsetting, but I still progressed through school. As I got older, I did get better in my academics. I had to find a way that worked for me. But what if I had been given a choice in my learning and to display my thinking? Would that have made a difference to me as an elementary student? I believe it would have. I believe it would have created ownership of my learning. I would have become that academic student because I would have enjoyed what I was doing because I had a choice in what I was learning. I think it would also have given me a voice. If I had a voice, I could organize my ideas and share my passions. And I think if students are giving choice, ownership, voice, it creates that authentic learning. So this is the way that I do it in my classroom. I feel strongly and passionate about giving students a choice. So I do learning paths in my classroom. These first sections are things that are required that students have to go through before they have a choice is what they would like to learn about next. Now, Power Pins is fax fluency, so they're given a choice in this area too. We start off with goals and we rotate weekly through learning path. They're self-paced, so the motivation has to come within. Because by the end of the week, they get to choose their different learning pathways at the bottom. We have 3 different teams, and each team is tailored to fit the needs of the student that are within that team. These students are my higher achieving students. They're showcasing their learning in a different way. They were creating e-portfolios online. They were blogging, making videos. This is what they needed to showcase their learning. This gave them a voice, and they began to own their learning. Each group had their own way of working through their learning path, and it worked because choice was given, which developed ownership. Their voice was heard, especially when they worked on their e-portfolios. As they rotated through their station, Flipgrid was an awesome choice to give those other students a voice as well. But wait, I began to think, if my students enjoy using the COVA method, I don't think it's just for students. I think this can be done for professional development as well. Because I am realizing as a teacher, I like to make my own decisions. I love creating. I've been reading some articles, and according to the Washington Post, teachers' professional development now is based on mandates. It's based on textbook adoptions, and it's also based on scripted curriculum that often fails. School districts are also adopting different learning management systems. They get the learning management system, but the support is dropped. That's why those initiatives fail as well. We need to start incorporating technology. We have devices, but technology is dropped and not supported. Personalized professional development should be happening with teachers. Teachers need a choice. When they're giving a choice, they'll own it. Their voice starts to show. That becomes authentic learning. I believe that can happen through a learning path for teachers. Through this learning path that I've developed, teachers take a survey. Their survey results tell them what path they should take initially. Then, just like my students, they get to choose their different learning outcomes. What else do they want to incorporate into their classroom for that student engagement? And this is part of blended learning for professional development. I believe that it can work, and I believe that we need to start making those changes so teachers feel empowered. Teachers need to feel empowered through blended learning just like our students do. We need to start now. We cannot afford to wait any longer.